And so today, my name is Trudy Kent. Welcome to Resiliency and Self-Care. It is 7:06 right now, so we're going to get started. I just want to thank everyone for taking the time to coming out this evening to listen on self-care. We don't have it all, but we're hoping to generate conversation and to learn from each other. I have my wonderful Andrea, who's going to be she's also my partner in this workshop. And so I'm just going to tell you about myself a little. So I am the program director, Agape director for the Hudson Valley. It's going on about roughly 6 months. I'm new to this job title, but I'm happy and I'm getting situated in this this new journey. While I'm doing that, I'm the mom of 3 children, 3 school-age kids. Yay! So I'm out of the preschool. So I have a 5-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 9-year-old, 2 girls and 2 boys. And so while Andrea and I and Kylie were preparing for this this workshop, I learned a lot by preparing about self-care. So I got something out of this. So I'm hoping that tonight our objective is for you to implement at least 1 or 2 simple tasks about self-care in your daily routine. So that's our objective for tonight. So I'm going to pass it to Andrea to introduce herself.
Thank you, Trudy. Hi, everyone. I'm Andrea Marinelli. On the Long Island counties of Nassau and Suffolk, and I'm a foster adoptive parent of a sibling group of 3. And I have to say, they're all grown up now, and I didn't have back to school stress like all of you probably on this virtual training tonight. I remember those days very well. And and now my children are in their 20s, and they're adult children with the same level of emotions and frustrations at different things from work and their lives. And so self-care is so important in my life, and I try to model that for the parents that I work with. Because we need to take care of ourselves first. And as a caregiver and a parent, that's very difficult to do because the needs of our children and our spouses always come first. And so I hope that you enjoy our presentation tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Andrea. And Kylie, you're the Oz.
Hi, everybody. So yes, hi, I'm Kylie Regan, and I'm going to be tonight's Oz. So in the chat, I included my my email. So if you're hoping to get any training certificates for tonight, please feel free to email me at Kylie@AFFCNY. That's also my name. Like my name on my little square. So, but feel free to send me an email if you'd like that, and have your name that you would like on your certificate match the name that's on your little box. I don't know what that's called. And if you have any questions throughout the night, feel free to either put them in the chat or unmute yourself and ask away.
Thank you so much, Kylie. I truly appreciate it. So we're going to get started. Within this presentation, we implemented 3 videos, and so to also help to highlight what we are talking about today. Okay, so Kylie, go to the first slide. I truly appreciate it. So self-care is important. So self-care is the roof of resiliency. And so it's the foundation of building our self-awareness. So the more we do self-care, we realize that we start being aware of ourselves, our emotions, and which creates healthy boundaries for ourselves. And so for myself, who is, I am actually raising 3 kids under the age of 10, just being self-aware is just so important. because then you're dealing with we are juggling so much different things throughout the day. You know, we're dealing with our kids' emotion, our spouses, or, you know, significant others. So just being aware of how you're feeling and creating those boundaries is important. As also Andrea said, you know, having self-care, once we implement it in our lives, then it becomes a routine. You know, it becomes something that second nature to us. So the more we do it, we become better at it. And that's important. So for me, you know, it's really hard. And again, that's something that is perfect, but we're hoping tonight that the little things that we could do to simplify self-care. And so as we go through this training, we go to try to find those little things. Self-care gives us energy that when we need it to sustain ourselves, and which we need, especially when we're taking care of others. We have so many different things in our lives. So, you know, we need that energy to provide us, to keep us the more energy that we have, then the more we could give to others. And it also gives us encouragement to have grace for ourselves. We're not perfect. You know, we're going to make mistakes. We got to give you know, we're going to scream, yell. We're not the perfect parents, but to understand that, you know, we need to give ourselves grace to say that, listen, I messed up, you know, and I could try again. And so that's also is a wonderful thing that we have to understand, not to beat ourselves up.
I just wanted to add one thing. You know, things don't always work out the way we plan them. And instead of being upset with ourselves because of that, we want to strengthen ourselves and realize that we can't control everything, and we can't make everything run smoothly all the time and be perfect, because that's not how life is. And sometimes we need to embrace the adversity of the day and chalk it up to, these things happened. I couldn't have done it any better. And maybe next time I'm going to try it a little differently to see if that helps. And I don't always do that. And sometimes I beat myself up and I'm upset with myself. And that's a lot of wasted negative energy. And if we keep doing that over time, it's not going to be healthy for us. So let's just keep that in mind and try to go with the flow.
Thank you so much, Andre. Perfect points. Next slide. So these are little tips that when I would do my research, I found to be, I don't know, it was just very helpful for me. So just a reminder, as Andrea was saying, that, you know, we do have needs. It's okay to have needs. We all have needs. You are important, you know, at the end of the day, you know, because, you know, being caregivers, you know, everything is important. We tend to forget about ourselves, but so we are important. We need to say that. We need to write it down that we have needs. We need to take care of ourselves. And so that I just need to say that, you know, that we are important. So the tips are just keeping self-care simple, small, and inexpensive. So, and it's, you know, for me, I always thought about self-care as going to the spa, exercising 30 minutes, you know, it's all those big things that sometimes is not measurable. We can't obtain it, or we start it and just not finish it. And so just keeping it simple. And that was what I learned, is keeping a simple thing. So basically going on Amazon, buying a foot spa, putting your foot in the spa, listening to music for 5-10 minutes, you know, just keeping it very simple, because sometimes going to yoga is about getting dressed, traveling 20 minutes away, having to come home, trying to find babysitters. So think about how can you keep your self-care simple, small, and inexpensive, you know, and that you would have to think about, you know. So for me, that may be doing my own nails. Who knows, you know what I'm saying? It may, that may be taking a small bubble bath, or whatever that may be, just keeping it small and inexpensive. The second thing is knowing basically knowing what time of the day is challenging and draining. So for me, having 3 little ones, the mornings, getting them ready for school. So school just started, and the evenings can be very challenging. So what I've decided to do is that I decided to look for 15 outfits for the week, prepare them with the socks, underwears, and everything to prepare myself. Not saying that I'm going to also be flexible in the situation, because at the same time, I could prepare those 15 outfits and little Johnny could say, no, I don't want to do this. I don't want to wear this. So being flexible in the situation, knowing that even though I prepare ahead of the time, that also being flexible, and also being playful about the situation too. And so there's no one a day, and then for me, after the kids come home, it could be just very stressful. Then my mood changes. And so again, we talked about being self-aware of your mood. I also tell my kids when I know that I'm not doing well. I'm just like, mommy is just not in a good space right now. So can we please, so can we please follow directions or take showers? The shower bedtime could be a very stressful moment. So you can make, as I said, being playful. You can make bedtime, turning on music, being playful, just being flexible in the moment, just to ease the tension. And so that's what helps for me. I've heard people talk about using photos and happy moments. And so I got a gift over the Christmas, and it was the fixed tiles that you could put on. Was a bunch of pictures of my kids when they were younger. And so for those moments that you are, for those moments, just walking in that area where those pictures are, and we're looking at those beautiful moments that we captured on our phone on the wall, kind of reduce the tension that's going on. So whatever that may be, could be music, but it could be photos. It could just sitting down, just taking a deep breath and just, closing your eyes. But looking photos, whatever that may be, that's maybe helpful. Finding a support group, non-judgmental, a group that gets it, a group of people that understands what you're going through and to give you support. AFFCNY has a lot of support groups, so you're welcome to join any of us. You could just go on our website, and there's so many support groups that you could join. And even finding support groups for our kids. Support groups, they also need to be supported too, because as they go older, what I'm hearing, you don't understand me, mommy. So, finding a support. We also have that for preteens, and so that's also helpful. So just finding that support, that you could scream, yell, and just getting that support. I think that's amazing. So I think that's extremely important, and I do that for myself. Scheduling downtime. Oh my gosh, which is hard, but I've had single moms told me over the summer, and I've also used that something, it's kind of hard to schedule downtime, especially when you're by yourself, or your significant other is not there. So I know a lot of people may not agree, but using an iPad, using an iPad, giving the kids snack, using Alexa. To me, Alexa's become she's part of my family now. But I tell the kids, okay, it's 11 something now. When Alexa, beeps or whatever, then iPad is up. For that hour or so, you give your children Alexa, your children the iPad, that they're not going to bother you. And so use that time to take care of yourself. So if it's watching a comedy, if it's journaling, writing, meditation, whatever that may be, that's definitely help. I've heard someone talked about their downtime is when the kids go to bed, and cleaning their kitchen, having their kitchen look spotless, and taking a time or vacuuming, whatever that may be. And I'm actually was doing that, and not realizing how that is but it's waking up in the morning after cleaning their kitchen the night before and seeing their kitchen clean, kind of give them, make them feel good. So, it may not be something that you want to do, but whatever that is for you, how you schedule downtime, kids going to bed, reading a book, watching your favorite sitcom. Schedule that downtime. Need that downtime. Putting something on your calendar that you look forward to, a night out. People have used, using Zoom and talking to a friend and having a cocktail with a friend on Zoom, whatever that may be, a vacation, just, looking forward to something. You can look at the calendar and say, okay, I have 30 days or 20 days for my vacation, whatever that may be. And so schedule that downtime. It is definitely helpful. And looking, the last but not least, I think I have one more, but is looking for the positives, even when it's too hard. I think that's helpful for both myself and my children. Just finding the positive even when things are chaotic. Because everything is not bad. You could find there has to be a little rainbow there, so, and that I was actually showing my daughter that over the summer when she hated camp so much and wanted to stop camp. It was just like, let's review let's look at the day and find the positive things. So if we could do that for ourselves, we also could teach our kids. And last but not least, I found this somewhere, just like, there's like, stop comparing yourself to other families. Your family, that's your family. You are unique. That's your family. And accepting, not thinking about your neighbor and they got it together. No one knows what's happening in their household. So look at what you're doing and compliment yourself and what you're putting in your household and not comparing yourself. That's as more added stress that, they got it together, I don't. We all are struggling. We all have, at the end of the day, we're not perfect parents. We're always striving to be better and to be more resilient. Andrea, do you have anything before we go to the next slide?
No, I think you really covered it. And what I like the most, Trudy, is scheduling that downtime. And I think that's so important. And now, especially, right, where a lot of us are doing a lot of work virtually and we feel like we're tied to our laptops. And I know sitting is the worst thing for my back, and my back is, I'm always having back pain, and I don't want to have back pain. So I schedule little 5 or 10 minute snippets during the day where I get up and I walk away and I stretch, and I feel so much better and my back isn't hurting me. So that's my little thing that I try to put in my day, because sitting is really not good. And I love the idea of putting something on your calendar. I think that's so important, something to look forward to. And it gives you time to plan, because, we're all, on our tight budgets and we don't think we can do something. But if we put it out there in the future and we have a goal to save toward that,
very true,
and make it happen. I love that idea. And my little group from the self-care group, a bunch of us are going out next week for a mini group out to eat. And I can't wait to see people in person again and do that. And so we put a little something on the calendar, and I think we should continue doing that. So yeah, thanks, Trudy. I love these ideas.
Yeah, thank you, Andrea. And when you talk about actually working from home, I had to, for self-care, it was funny because my staff was asking me why I was bouncing. So I bought this ball that I sit on, and so, those times that I'm not, I can literally bounce on my ball like I'm doing right now. So that was self-care. I love my chair, that's a ball, and so that was self-care for me, and actually another thing is also, say if your children is coming home at 3 o'clock, just taking that 10 minutes before just to walk outside, just to breathe in fresh air or outside of your job, whatever that may be, or getting up, as Andrew was saying, all that is just things that we need to do, little things. If it takes 5 minutes, then use that 5 minutes, but that 5 minutes makes a world of difference. Okay, I'm not sure we have a video now or not, do we? So Karen Purvis, wonderful, amazing. She is one of the co-founder of TBRI. That's trust-based relation. Oh my God, original intervention for the Connected Child. She's an author of Connected Child. I'm getting tired. But she's amazing. We love her. She gives a lot of information on, how to just be the best parent possible and having that relationship with your child. So she talks about self-care in this video. It's just 2 minutes.
A gift you can give to your child is taking good care of yourself. Find support groups that understand your journey. Find safe friends and neighbors who will give you voice for the journey. Find others who understand the unique challenges, the unique types of loneliness you may experience. Find people who won't judge you if you have periods of depression or angst. Find people who understand. Try to find a little bit of time for yourself. Maybe enlist a friend or a support group to bring dinner once a week. If they bring dinner, you might have 45 minutes for yourself. Find a neighbor who would run your carpool one night a week. Take a quick bubble bath before all the kids get home. In small ways that you nurture yourself, you'll have gifts to give to your child that are fresh and authentic. In our years of working with families who foster and adopt, when I say take care of yourself, I have parents look at me in complete disbelief with the challenges, the needs before them. They find it virtually impossible to find time for themselves. But what I always tell those parents is there's no way for you to continue this journey. There's no way for you to be fresh. There's no way for you to have love and affection to give to a child if you haven't given some care and nurture to yourself. It is not being selfish. It is being wise. Take care of yourself. To the extent that you feel fresh and nurtured and loved and cared for, you'll be able to give that gift to your child.
So does anyone have any questions? What do you think about this video before we go on any further?
I'll say something. I feel like society for a while put parents, especially mother, in a role where we were pretty much fake. It looked like we were supposed to give all of us to our children, and if we did not, then we were bad parents. So we would put ourselves second and third. So now, because we have so many psychological issues going on, and people realize, oh my gosh, it's because mothers are now working full time. They have to take care of the children, and then they have spouses or not, in which case then you put in double the work. And now we're starting to grasp that you're not being selfish if you are taking care of yourself, because then you avoid burnout. And you're able to give your children the best version of yourself when you take care of yourself. And you're also teaching your children that they come first and then everybody else, not because you're a bad parent or a person, just because that's your first job, and doesn't mean you're being selfish. So I feel like it's the conformity of society, like what we learn from a long time ago, and that now we're working to change.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Grace.
You basically said it, Grace. It's right. We're trying to do a big shift from before to now, which is really hard. And it's not, it's like what it says up here, putting the oxygen mask on first. before you can help anybody else. And that's the first thing they tell you when you go on the plane. You can't help the next person next to you if you don't have your oxygen mask. So now it's a different shift, and which is hard as a society for us to do it. But we are, because now everything is about self-care now. A lot of resiliency and self-care, taking care of yourself, as you said. And so you won't run empty, because if you do run empty, there's nobody else. You can't take care of your children, and that's what you're teaching them, is just like, okay, the mommy is this, mommy can't do this, so it's important that we simplify it as much as we can and have some kind of routine, and ask for help. It's important to ask for help. Me being in this job, I do ask for help. I've listened to, because we all, majority of us are parents. When my daughter, over the summer, and I didn't understand why she was having these anxiety attack about camp, I didn't know what to do. So asking for help, I got little bits of things like, how can I help her? How can I help myself? And to help her. So me asking for help, I took care of myself, put a mask on me, take a breather, and then ask for help. And then I was able to help her through her 6 weeks of camp, and that was very helpful. The little tips that I got. And teaching her too about finding the positives in things that, she doesn't like to do. And so, it's a back and forth. So yes. Do we have any other questions and comments before we go on to the next?
The only question, hello, how you doing? I'm Naima.
Hi.
The only question I have is, how do you deal with the children of not respecting you, though? I think that's what I'm struggling with. They are, one is autistic and the other one is fine. They are my nephews, but they won't eat, they won't talk to me. And I feel like I'm stressing out more because I feel like I'm not succeeding in what I'm supposed to be doing for them. Like, I can't care for them correctly because they won't eat, they won't talk to me. They are dealing with a lot of trauma, and I have no support. I'm a single mom of 2 of my own, and then I have the extra 2 boys now. So I feel like it's a lot on me, but it's no one to turn to due to the fact that they lost both of their parents just before Christmas.
Oh.
And I don't want to turn my back on them, but it's so stressful, where I took 2 months off from a full-time job and then just came back and it's still not working. I just feel like I can't get to them, and I'm struggling, where I'm at the point where I feel like, yes, I need some time away. How can I get time away?
Right.
But then I do the time away, but the whole time I'm time away, I'm worrying about if they interacting with that person that's watching them. And I think that's throwing me off more because they're not interacting at all. So I feel the best thing for me to do is to try to see if I can get them somewhere else safely. But then I feel like I'm failing them if I tried to get them to go somewhere else, but there's nowhere else for them to go. So I just feel like the video, the message she gave was very positive, where if you can't help yourself, how can you help others?
Right.
And I feel like I'm struggling to find that happy place for me.
Right.
Because work shouldn't be a happy place. And there's nothing to fall back on, even though I'm an employee at the children's home.
Right.
So, certain things you don't want to share with your colleagues because they look at you different. So I wish it was different groups and stuff that was out here that I can join in, because like I said, I do this for a living, but I guess it's different because they in my household and I'm struggling more, and I can't get them to express what they want besides TV.
Okay. So go ahead, Andrea, go ahead.
I just want to say, if it's possible to reach out to some service providers that may be able to give them more supports in the home to help you and give you a break. Are there any agencies that you can contact through your work to get some home-based help?
So sorry not to cut you off.
Okay.
Well, right now I am working with Someone's Hair Connect for respite services for the boys.
Mhm.
But due to the fact that they are not my family is more of a struggle of getting medical information, and I applied in April, so we still waiting to actually get a worker. So I'm running around. I do have people that, the agencies, but it's taking time because they need the correct documentation of the diagnosis or enough for them to support them correctly, besides just counseling. Even the schools are reaching out and helping me, but like I said, it still is not the same as trying to get them away for a little bit. So I tried to sign them up for after school programs. Hopefully that'll be a start, that they can get a break from me, not just me getting a break from them.
Mhm. And as we were talking about it earlier, try not to be unkind to yourself. You're doing as much as you can. And if you just keep a little schedule of phone calls and following up and trying to reach out, it does take time to put it all in place. So meantime, if there is a respite opportunity, take advantage of it and try not to feel guilty, because they're not going to know any different anyway. And I think you have a great idea, taking the break from each other. And eventually you're going to have things set up that will help you. But it's very commendable what you're doing. And just try to see some positive light at the end of the tunnel, because you're going to get there. It's just going to take a little time.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Yes. And have you thought about providing counseling for you? Thought about getting counseling?
Yes, I have. With
Okay.
EAP, if I'm right, that's what we have, part of our agency.
Okay.
So I just signed up today for 8 sessions. I did.
Okay.
I was in denial at first and thinking that I can do it on my own, but
Right.
it ain't work.
Okay. And where are you located? Do you mind me asking?
Oh, I'm in Binghamton, Broome County.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm part of the children's home.
Okay. Isn't that part of our location?
Yes.
It is? Okay. So we after this thing, we could set you up with support groups with our coalition. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, but we have a lot of groups that we could definitely assist you, and we could definitely help you with that. Okay.
Thank you so much. I
And
appreciate that.
yes, so definitely can you put your information in the chat or
Yes.
send it to Kylie, and we get back to you at the end of this, but we definitely would love to help you.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Rama. Appreciate it.
Can I just share that I can relate to the feeling where you take on something and I wouldn't consider it denial. I think it would be, I don't know if there's a kind word for, I don't want to say ignorance because it sounds so harsh, but I when I took in my nieces, I guess I could say I was in denial too, but I really thought I could do it and on my own, and I had the same struggles. It was very overwhelming for me, but whenever somebody else had them, I did not feel comfortable because they were my family, my responsibility, and I didn't want anybody frustrated with them and like them with different people. So you're not alone. Those feelings are common. And you don't know what you're going to go through until you go through it. So I hope that you find peace in your choice and let go of the guilt or the, whatever negative feelings you have towards like, oh man, I really thought I could do it. And here I am asking for help. Like there's no shame in that.
Very true.
The humanity is not supposed to be raising children alone. That is not how we were built. We are mammals and like a more advanced, according to, books and research. Sometimes I disagree, but we're built for connection. So when it's just one parent handling more than one child, especially child that like a child with special needs, it is always more overwhelming than we account to be. So, you're doing the right thing by asking for help and being humble, taking the therapy sessions. I hope that you're taking care of your basic needs, that you're eating, that you are trying to sleep, that you are taking showers, you know, and people tend to avoid those things because they don't have time and just like, oh, do it later. But those things, we don't realize how much they regulate us. Just the basic needs, eating, sleeping, keeping yourself hydrated. It's just so sad that us as parents and then like caregivers for, you know, our extra children, we forget about those simple things that we could have been doing for ourselves to help us regulate, you know, and have a least harder time possible. So sorry, talk too much.
No, that was perfect. That was amazing, Grace. Thank
I
you.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes, yes, those are the simple things. Yes, definitely. The
Judy,
simple, keeping it simple. Yes,
maybe
Chester.
you should consider reframing. When you guys have a talk with her later, talk to her about reframing.
Definitely. Because she's definitely part of our county, so she will definitely be assisting her. Self-care. We'll definitely be helping you with that. Thank you so much, Chester. Yes. Anybody else have any comments, questions? Okay, we're going to go to the next slide. Thank you for everyone contributing to the chat. Okay, so
Okay, so I wanted to let everyone know through Trudy's research on this resiliency. There are two definitions that she's found and added to the PowerPoint. So box number 1 and box number 2. And I'm going to read both of these to you. And then I want to see which one do you feel you feel is the definition that describes your resiliency. So number 1 is resiliency is the ability to overcome challenges and bounce back stronger, wiser, and more personally powerful. And number 2's definition is resiliency is the power to be energized and elevated by disruption. It is the internal fortitude to emerge stronger and even more effective from tough situations. Resiliency is not about bouncing back. So myself personally feel more resilient from difficult, tough situations that I've had in my life and also from raising my children. And there were some really difficult times with some of their behaviors and some of their emotions and things that were happening. And I felt that I got stronger as I was able to regulate myself, possibly by using some coping skills to not be reactive to some of the things that were going on. And all of these things I look at now as helping me build my self-care and my relationship with my children. So for me, box number 2 is all the disruption kind of made me feel more resilient. Does anyone else want to share what they think? Are they box number 1 or box number 2?
Yeah.
Hi, Edwin.
Well, I think if you do number 1, number 2 becomes a little easier to do. And you know, it's like taking your first step. You fall off the bike, you have to have the courage to get back on, start pedaling again. And once you get on the bike, you get the rhythm going. Depending on the circumstances, of course, you know, you fall off the bike and you break your wrist, you know, it's going to take you a little time to get back on again. But all in all, I think if you, you know, you do the hurdle, first hurdle, the second hurdle, it's tough, but in a way it becomes easier for you to handle and overcome.
Thank you for sharing that. Anyone else want to make a comment on this? Okay, so I think, Judy, if you don't have any other comments on this, we can go to the next video. Does that sound good?
Sounds great. Thank you, Andrea.
Hello?
Hey, what's going on? Is everything okay?
Right now isn't a good time.
You don't sound good at all. Talk to me.
Yeah, I'm okay, but can we talk later? The kids won't stop fighting, and I'm trying to figure out how to pay all of these bills.
For sure. Call me later. Hi. How did your day end?
Hi, not good. I just get so caught up in the days. It's so hard to even get 1 minute to myself, and with losing my job, I'm just struggling to get by day.
Wow, it really sounds like you're having a hard time managing everything.
The kids are driving me up the wall. It's so hard to manage online school for them and all the things I have to do every day. Since getting laid off, I've barely been scraping by, and I don't know what my next steps are. Also, Oscar is struggling in school, and I don't feel like I can help him.
Sounds really overwhelming. I'm here for you. What if I come over during the week? We could look at some jobs, possibly. We could even look at unemployment. Carl and I had to apply for unemployment a couple months ago. It's a ton of paperwork.
That would be great. Wednesday good?
I can make it work. Now let's just take some deep breaths. Sometimes it's just good to stop and breathe. The other thing I would say is maybe look at how your day starts. With the kids and their homework, it may seem impossible, but once you list out or figure out some different approaches for starting your day, that could help you feel less overwhelmed.
You're right. Even though I'm frustrated now, I just need to take a minute to think about what I need for me and the kids. I don't have much of a morning routine, and we're always rushing around in the morning.
Crazy mornings can be really hard and kind of set the day off. What do you think would help?
I think we need a morning routine, and a routine that involves each of the kids so they know what to expect.
It's a really good idea. Involving the kids in a way that helps them learn while also taking some stress off of you. That's really important.
Ugh, the kids are fighting. They're at it again. I should go, but I really appreciate having you and helping me sort my thoughts and frustration out.
Of course, we're here for each other. I will come over next Wednesday. You can count on it. But don't hesitate to call me if you need anything, and I'll check back in on you. Our local community is here to support.
I really think that it's so great to have some natural supports in your life and people that you can talk to and reach out to, and don't be afraid to ask a friend for some help, because sometimes we just can't do it all on our own. And another great thing that I liked about that video is setting routines. Setting routines not only helps us, but it helps our children to be regulated because they know what to expect. And if there's a routine and you do it over and over again, they're going to fall into doing that routine. I mean, hey, with some silliness and some stuff, and nothing is perfect like the video, and I realize that, but I think our children need more structure and they need more support from us. And if we can do it in a loving way and, keep the bar high, but know when the expectations aren't really being met, that they they might not be able to meet them. And, don't blame ourselves, just let's not go down that road. But the more routines that you have and the more that they fall into, will help them and help us with our self-care. Here, we want to talk again about self-care and resilience. And when we take care of ourselves, we're able to do this better. We're able to parent better. When our emotional well-being is in check, we do better, right? So, we're coming home from, say, a long day at work, and our children are frustrated. If we don't have our self-care in check, we might be, flipping our lids with them. And you'll find out a little bit about flipping your lids when you come to reframing too, as Chester suggested earlier. A lot of what we're presenting here too is a little snippets of our parenting class, which is really so good. And I hope that if you haven't taken it yet, come and take it. And I know I've had parents take it over and over again, and it's been really helpful. But so I know, it could be difficult. You can have your child have a really bad behavior or come in and be sarcastic, and they don't want to go back to school or do work because they did work all day. Instead of lecturing, see it from their point of view, and encourage them to know that you understand how they're feeling by going along with what they're saying. Use some reflective listening, maybe repeat back to them what they said so they feel like you're hearing them. And maybe do something that you wouldn't ordinarily do. Say, hey, let's go take the dog for a walk. Or if you don't have a dog, hey, let's run around in the backyard. Let's get some energy out. Have something to eat. Do something to diffuse how they're feeling, and say, that doesn't seem right. They're giving you all this homework. You did it all day. I want you to do your homework and I want you to do well, but you don't have to do it right now. Let's do something fun. What do you want to do now? And, see where that goes and address it later. Maybe get up earlier in the morning and try to do it, although mornings are tough, so that might not work out that well.
Andrea, going for ice creams always works.
I'd love that idea, especially on Wednesdays. Buy one, get one free. That's always a good one. So, I love this slide too, because it brings us to, we want to ask ourselves, what can we do before, during, and after a stressful situation? And how are we going to take care of ourselves in that situation? And, it's in the calm times that we can think about it, not when it's going on. And it's not easy and it's challenging, but if we take the steps each day to build in some cushions for ourselves, when these difficult times come up, we're going to address them better. And, like I always know with myself, I get a little overwhelmed because I'm working a couple different projects and I bit off more than I can chew, but I have no choice because I've got to bring in the dollar to, pay all my bills and keep my house. So, some days I'm a little cranky. And when I start feeling cranky, I just go for a run, or I light my candles and I just put everything aside and say, up tomorrow, I'm not looking at another thing today. And it's just going to have to wait because my well-being is, more important, because if I don't stay strong, I'm not going to be able to, keep going. Right. So, and also I do have a good friend when I get overwhelmed and I don't know what I'm doing. She was coming over once a week to help me with my bills because I didn't know how to do bills. My husband used to do them and he's not around anymore. So, he passed, and I went through a few months of beating myself up, like I'm never going to be able to do this. Well, I could do it. I'm doing it now. And I don't know why I was, so overwhelmed. Just, break it apart a little piece at a time and And eventually you could change your thinking and you can change the way you're looking at it. So I think we should go to the next slide. And so again, we want to recognize what makes us stressed. We want to notice what the stress is doing to ourselves and to our body. I don't know, I lost clumps of hair after months of being stressed out. So I'm hoping my hair comes back. I'm taking some vitamins now, so I'm hoping that that helps. But I find that doing some deep breathing in through your nose, for everybody do some deep breaths with me right now, whoever wants to. I'm not really watching. And if you have your cameras off, that's fine. Just like take one deep breath in for 4 seconds and let it out slowly for another 4 seconds. And do this again. And after a while, it'll come a little more naturally to you. But if you could do this a few times during the day, when you're driving, when you get up, you know, different points in your day, medical doctors will tell you that this does a world of good to your internal organs and helps you, because stress is a killer. There's so many heart attacks and so many bad health problems come from stress. But doing these deep breathing exercises actually help. So I think that's all I have for this. Trudy, did you want to add anything?
No, I think you said it all. Thank you so much, Andrea.
Thank you.
So overall, Andrea talked about, she talked about everything that's here. Again, a focus on your physical health, getting sleep and exercise and nutrition. Is even also Grace talked about, eating, sleeping, taking showers, all those little things. I mean, exercise doesn't have to be a 30-minute day, but whatever it's taking a walk, just getting good sleep, which sometimes is hard. Again, I do have my 5-year-old who tend to come in my bed, which makes it difficult for me to sleep. But whenever I can, I could try to get good sleep or sleeping a little bit later. Attend to one thing at a time. If you can't do all the laundry, you can't do it. Just you can't do it. Don't get overwhelmed because everything in your day is not done. It's not that important. Not important for it to be stressed. Being playful, spontaneous, to have fun. Andrew talked about, just like, they're not doing their homework, can't get their homework done. At this point, I went through an extreme stressful moment, probably still is, but more so stressful last year with my, he was 4 then, getting kicked out of several daycares, getting kicked out of school, and no one wanted to, my son had a reputation of, that no one wanted to even care for him. And so now you have our jobs, what do you do? What do you do in that time that it is so stressful? And how do you, try different things and it wasn't working? So I could definitely tell you, just sometimes I just stopped, taking away the toy, taking away that, just being playful, and, sometimes just being, doing something different, kind of diffuse the situation with my son. And even in the sense of when it comes to doing homework, as I said before, going for ice cream, not thinking about just not thinking about, okay, you have to set consequences. Just do something out of the box can help to diffuse the situation, which makes it less stressful. So due to that stressful moment, those stressful, I call them moments, but yeah, last year, my son and I has become much more connected because I changed my mindset. Right, it talks about practice mindfulness, meditation. I'm mindful and how I, what I'm saying, what I'm doing as a parent. I'm mindful about my voice, all those things, that's helped me. Meditation, still working on, but this practice of mindfulness definitely helped me being a better parent. how I'm coming across, what I'm saying, what I'm doing, definitely I was a trigger to my son. And so that was something that's I did not realize, but I found out, and that's something that I'm doing to rectify that situation. Just be mindful, spending time with nature, whatever that may be. Taking a walk, going bike riding, whatever that may be. Just spending time, it's going outside, opening up your window, feeling the fresh air. So just keeping a journal, finding support. On the video, both videos talked about finding that's the support group, therapists. This coalition has that. We have the support groups. We could assist you in finding therapists. It's just those things are very, as we said before, it's just very important. And also helps you deal with and tolerate, stressful situation. Just to have that person that you could talk to and you could vent and scream to, again, is just definitely helpful. Andrew, do you have anything?
No, I think that covers it all, really.
Does anybody have any questions, any comments? Okay, all right. So last but not least, we're going to watch a video on tapping. And so, I've seen so many videos on meditation, and Andrew just did a few seconds of meditation right now. And so I found, this definitely captured my attention when I was doing, when I was preparing for this workshop. And so I think Andrew and I looked at this video and said, okay, let's try something different. And so tapping, they do have therapists that do use tapping in their therapy, and so to relieve stress. And so there are different acupuncture parts that helps you to reduce stress and anxiety. So Brenda McCrane, and she's no longer with us. She died several years ago, but she has these great videos and parenting tips. Don't quote me on this. I think she adopted, she's like that. But she's just as a major guru in talking about parenting, giving parenting skills, helping you through the difficult times. So when I saw this video, I thought about this. This would be just a great way of ending, ending this workshop, and just giving you a different way of relieving stress. This is another takeaway.
For many hazardous parents, the experience of sort of you have an emotional giving well, not filled with water, but giving with those internal resources that allow you to give and give and give, you can start to feel like it's drying up. For some people, it can even feel like the bucket that they use to draw from the well has a hole in it. There's just nothing left, and there's no way to access anything more. You give and you give and you give, and then pretty soon you find out that you're tired, you're exhausted. There could be 1,000 other things going on in your life that have put you over that have used up the last of your inner resources. And I bet the rest of the world still sees you as someone who's got lots, a very full well, who's got lots to give, who gives continuously. And you've got a bit of a shield up, kind of a false face, maybe, looking as if you've still got it all together, as if you can still access your inner resources, as if you've still got lots to give, but in fact you're feeling like there's nothing left. That's not unusual. There's going to be phases of that when you're raising a child or a youth with extreme behavioral challenges. The trick here is to not to give in to that. to know that there is always, always somewhere else you can reach out to, some other service. It may not be in your immediate area. Get on the net, look around, find what you can find. Network out, get that resource back to you. You know, there is that saying that you put on your, when you're in an airplane, you're going to crash or you're in danger, you put the oxygen mask on you before you put it on your child. And it's the same with filling your giving well. We just stick to all these analogies and metaphors, but you want to take care of yourself, rebuild your inner resources. So you need to reach out to see what else is there, what else can help you. But in the meantime, while you're doing that, let's just do a little tapping to help you get through this phase. So you've got some strength and some mental processes ready, some mental energy to go looking for that. As always, I'm just tapping away, giving you a wee bit of a guideline. Use your own words, use your own feelings, and keep the tapping unique to yourself and your own situation. Here we go. So even though my giving well feels so dry, as if I've used everything up, I have no more inner resources, I am okay. Even though my inner giving well, my inner resources feel so used up, all gone, I am okay. Even though my giving well feels no longer existent, I am okay. Oh, I just feel like I've given everything I can possibly give. That well is dried up. The bucket that draws from it has holes in it. There's nothing left there. Everybody still wants to take from that well, but there's nothing left in it. I've been fooling people, making them think it's still full, that I still have inner resources, because so many depend on me. But in my heart, I know it's so empty. I know there's nothing left. Take some air. Think about the thoughts, the feelings you have. Follow along with them. I feel so used up. I feel like there's just been too much demanded of me, needed from me, asked of me. Everything I thought I had, all the inner resources, all the unending strength I thought I have is gone. I just don't even sort of know myself right now without this inner strength. It was who I was for so long, and now it's not there. An empty well doesn't seem like who I could be. Do some more tapping. Even though I feel this emptiness, this empty giving well, I am okay. Even though I feel this empty giving well, I am okay. Even though I feel this emptiness in my internal resources, I am okay. Maybe I am okay. Maybe everything doesn't have to come from my giving well. Maybe there are others that I can reach into or share with. Others out there who'll share it with me. Other places that we can go. My son, my daughter, myself, my spouse, my family. We can go for help and draw on their well. Good breath. Follow your feelings. There are others. I'm not alone. We are there for each other. My well is empty, so I need to find ones that aren't. I need to find the support from others who still have things to give. I can find ways to replenish my own well. I can find ways to rebuild my own inner resources. I can strengthen myself. I can refill my giving well. I can refill myself with strength, with capacity to care, and capacity to cope and function. I can. More air. Remember, oxygen is always your best friend in reducing the stress on your amygdala, which is where the anxiety and the stress reside, and increasing your problem-solving abilities in the prefrontal lobes. That's where all your thinking and planning and everything exists. That all needs that oxygen. So I hope we've laid some new thinking tracks in your brain, some new ways of just opening up to looking for new places to get help for yourself. Primarily first for you. When you're feeling that used up, take care of yourself, the parent. You really are entitled to a better day.
Okay, everyone, what do you think about the video? Any comments?
My therapist actually brought up the tapping, and I forgot to look into it because there's other things that I looked at first. So that was informative. I didn't understand what she meant by tapping until I actually saw that
Right.
person practicing. So it was helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome, Grace. Anybody? Hi.
Yeah, I think, well, anyway, for me, I'd rather, chop wood or go do a project.
Got you. That's fine.
Yeah, I found it very relaxing. And I was trying to think my own thoughts. I wasn't trying not to listen to what she was saying, but it was a little distracting because she was there. But
Right.
I thought it was very relaxing, and the breathing, because I was breathing with her.
Okay.
That was helpful.
Okay, Chester, thank you. Anybody else?
I noticed in the beginning, she was saying all of the things that she was feeling overwhelmed about. And as she went on and continued, she started making positive statements and putting that out into the universe. I was tempted to start tapping along with her, but I thought, oh, that might be a little odd. I'll have to rewatch the video and try it.
And that's a very good point, Andrea, because when I first saw it, I was just like, why does this is coming from a negative, point? I was like, this doesn't sound good. But a lot of times just acknowledging how we're feeling, we're acknowledging that this is how we're feeling, because a lot of times as parents, we don't want to acknowledge how we're feeling. So doing that, she acknowledged how she's feeling, and then she brought the positive, like, yes, I can, saying, yeah, no matter what's going through, yes, I could get through this. So yeah, I was like, this doesn't feel good, but it was acknowledging that, listen, this sucks,
So that technique is, it works by, allowing your brain to process it, and you're not supposed to judge your feelings when you're letting them out, like where you're talking about it. At the same time, you're like distracting yourself with the tapping and breathing.
Mm-hmm.
So it is not too, like in the beginning, it's overwhelming because it's like, when you want to rent to a friend and you start like blah, 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 and you cry, and then you're like, ah, and then you take a deep breath and you're like, okay, you know what? I could probably do this instead, and like work on this. And then like the ideas start coming, because at first you're overwhelmed with your emotions, and then you allow them to be processed.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're able to use your brain, your cognitive functions start, firing up, and you're able to make the good judgments and like, good choices. So you should never act when you're feeling those emotions, but I feel like all emotions are valid, the bad emotions, the good emotions. I actually don't like saying bad emotions. I feel like all emotions are what makes us humans. So it shouldn't be bad, but the strong emotions, so.
Thank you, Grace. Yes. Totally agree.
I find, like, I've tried to do it, and I find that I enjoy it when someone else is doing the talking, and I kind of think those things. But for me to do the tapping, the breathing, and coming up with what to say, and how to turn that at the same time from, like people are saying, from the negative to the positive. Like, I don't know.
No,
It's tough for me to do, but I really enjoy it. Like if someone, kind of knows like where I'm at, and talks me through it, then I like it.
I like that, Michelle. I like that. Yeah, but yeah. Anybody else?
Please.
So I went to a meditation once, and they did a lot of different, walking you through a chant, and you had your eyes closed and you had to visualize things. But then they did a very simplistic one that you could do when you shower, and you could do, and depending on when you shower, in the morning or at night, you can use the soap and think of all the things that stressed you out in the day, and apply the soap to different areas of your body, and think about all the negative things that happened in your day, and then stand under the water and let the water rinse it all away, and look down the drain and it's all gone, and you start fresh the next day. And I love that. And so sometimes I'll think of that in the shower, and I'll use that. And it's just like this little visual of it, getting rid of all that stuff, rinsing it away. So I'd like to leave you with that thought.
Thank you, Andrea. I like that one. I'm gonna use that on my daughter. I like that one. Did anyone have any takeaways? We have about less than 10 minutes left. Do we have any takeaways? What is your self-care? Did you get anything from, something very simple that you can implement as a routine? Alexander, talking about chopping wood and doing what was that again? Chopping wood and doing projects?
Yeah, the thing is, I wasn't disparaging the process that the young lady was using.
No.
Everybody uses, has their own way of relieving stress.
Right.
I mean, I would, go down to the workshop, start straightening things out, straighten out the shed, go outside, mow the lawn.
Yeah.
I don't have that many trees, so I can't chop down that much wood. But you find to relieve yourself, of stress in different ways. Everybody has a way of coping. Going for ice cream, like you said, going for a walk.
Right.
A lot of different things to do.
Thank you so much.
I like, Trudy, when you talked about cleaning the kitchen and the microwave and things, like during the summer, sometimes noticed I put off a lot of cleaning in the house because we were entertaining outside, and then there was the pool, and you can only clean one area. You don't have enough time to do both inside and outside. And it rains, a lot on the other day, and I thought, this is it. I can't be outside. I'm going to clean the house top to bottom. And it felt good, because I was using energy. And then the end result, you sit back and you say, oh, wow, this looks so clean. This is great. And you get satisfaction out of it. And sometimes I would share that with my kids. You know how you keep putting off, cleaning and fixing your room? But once you do it, it's just so nice. It doesn't last long in their rooms, right? It may only last a day, but you feel a sense of accomplishment. And I think as much as we want to build up our children and their self-esteem and making them feel good about themselves, we have to do it for ourselves too. We have to set that example, and we have to model it. And when that makes us feel good, it might rub off on them eventually. I mean, not all at once, but I know I got a lot of satisfaction out of that cleaning. I was glad when you mentioned that.
No, I mean, it all depends. Some people think cleaning is stressful. Some people think it's relieving. So it was preparing. I was just like, wow, so it does help, I guess, for me. And it does help, making sure my kitchen is, because in the morning, everyone rushes to the kitchen in the morning for breakfast. So when I see a clean kitchen in the morning, it does help me. It's like, that feels good that I accomplished something. So that something was measurable for me, that I took away from this. It don't have to be perfect. I could go anywhere of the house. It may not be perfect, but at least, my kitchen, so that's something that I took away from that. But I definitely, does anyone has any more comments or questions? here. We have a few minutes left, and I would truly appreciate everyone comments and contributing, attending this our workshop. Some people, this is their first week of school. I know it's been very stressful, in some sense. So I just definitely don't. I definitely thank you for taking the time to come out tonight to listen to our workshop. So I really appreciate that. So does anybody